Hi everyone, I'm thilsey and welcome to our first episode of our Horse Ranch series. This sim here is Jessie, the sim I will be playing with. I made a cast video for them, and if you haven't seen it, I will link it in the description. But if you haven't seen it yet, don't worry about it, because we'll get to know Jessie in this episode as well. They are currently in their family home in Oasis Springs, where they are taking care of their family's llamas who they're keeping for like selling wool and stuff for business. And while Jessie is doing that, her family is having a nice little family breakfast together. Jessie is not included because they don't really get on quite well. If anything, I'm gonna have Jessie have breakfast after everyone is finished because the situation is just quite tense. So while Jessie is waiting for an opportunity to grab some breakfast in peace, she'll be hanging out with the llamas some more and giving them some love because Jessie absolutely loves animals. Animals are pretty much the only company that Jessie ever really had, so this is pretty much all the social life that they have. Okay, but don't pee on the llama, I'm sure that they wouldn't appreciate it. Well, she finally has some time to eat breakfast in peace since everyone left, so I'm gonna have her eat something with one of their cats as well. Who is this? Oh my gosh, I can't see. Please stop. Pumpkin, please stop spinning. That's one of their cats as well. We also have tiny little kitten Woody and their dog Duchess. So Jessie is mostly spending time with them. However, Jessie does have a girlfriend. Oh my gosh, perfect timing. Jessie has a girlfriend, Antonia, from my Growing Together series. But this call is really strange because her girlfriend wants to give her number to someone. That is strange. What are you doing, Antonia? Well, to be fair, Antonia probably knows that Jessie doesn't really have that many friends and maybe she just wants to help them get to know people. So I'm gonna say yes, even though I don't think that Jessie is very trusting of people because of their current experiences. So they are even hesitant to make friends. It never really worked for them. But I'm gonna say yes. She does want to chat with Antonia. So I'm kinda thinking that we should find a moment to see Antonia somehow today. I did say in the cast video that they are kind of long distance because Jessie is not necessarily not allowed to go places, but their family doesn't really let them go anywhere easily. They want to have control over their children, so it's kind of difficult to go and visit Antonia, especially because their family doesn't really approve of the fact that Jessie is a lesbian, so it's not really easy for Jessie to say, oh, I'm gonna go see my girlfriend. So things are just a little bit complicated. But let's just look at this real quick, and I want to show you something. Just before I started recording, the last time when these two met up, Antonia actually asked Jessie to move in. However, Jessie said no because Antonia is worried about Jessie and their situation, and their home life is just looking pretty bad. Antonia offered, hey, why don't you come over here? Because Jessie knows Antonia's entire family and they got on quite well. See Hazel here and Justin and everyone. Antonia was thinking, well, you can come over here at least for a bit, but Jessie's bride said, no, I don't really need any help. I can figure this out by myself. So it's looking a little bit tense when it comes to that, even though Antonia really meant the best for Jessie, but it just didn't really come out well. Since Jessie doesn't really have that much to do at home or just like socializing outside of the home, I'm gonna have them go on a jog with the dog because, as I said, they're keeping themselves busy by hanging out with their pets and their llamas because there's not really that much they can do, especially in this, in their opinion, relatively boring neighborhood because it's just these nice manicured houses. Everything is just relatively luxurious, even though they are keeping llamas and everything, but still it's like not a very farmy business. It's more of a just novelty thing. So they are just kind of lacking adventure and excitement in this place as well. Jessie is pretty unhappy around here, not gonna lie. They always wanted some more adventure. They always were obsessed with cowboys and riding horses, being on a ranch. That's their dream, but so far they can only just kind of essentially play pretend, even though they are a young adult, but they are still just kind of dressing up as a cowboy and doing their best to have some excitement in their life, but it's just not really happening. And immediately after the jog, they just decided to go fishing. They don't really want to spend time in the house now that everyone is in the house, and it's just not a very comfortable environment. They're fishing quite often. I think that their fishing is at level 7. This is pretty much how they spent their teen years. It's still in the neighborhood. It's still really like nearby. Look at this fancy house over there. And it's probably not the best pond for fishing because there's literally a fountain here. So everything is kind of like too modernized. It's not really what they're after. Oh my gosh, no way. Wait, this is crazy. This is actually Antonia's mother. Their girlfriend's mother just decided to come here and fish with Jesse. That is such a crazy coincidence. I'm kind of thinking that Hazel got a little bit worried because Jesse said no to moving, and Hazel knows their situation. They know each other relatively well because Jesse did manage to visit Antonia maybe once or twice, so she met Antonia's entire family, which is pretty interesting because I have to show you something. Look at this little baby. If you watched my growing together, we had a bit of a time skip. It's maybe just a couple of years later. So Antonia is a young adult now. Anthony's gonna be a teen in a couple of days. And Justin and Hazel got married and had a little baby. So he's an infant now. So just like a little side note, so you know that we had a bit of a time skip. Jesse did get to know Hazel and the rest of the family, and they get on quite well. So I'm kind of thinking that Hazel came over to check on Jesse because they haven't seen Jesse in a while. Oh, and Jesse did just say their pronouns to Hazel, which is something pretty important, and it's something that Hazel would respect, unlike their family. So this is actually really, really good and important. But anyway, let's just ask Hazel maybe about Antonia. How is she doing? Because they haven't really seen each other that much. Sure, they're texting and they're video chatting when they have a chance, but they haven't seen each other that much. So how is Antonia doing? We haven't seen each other. It looks like everything is good, but I'm sure that Antonia is missing Jesse for sure. But you know what? I just got an interesting idea. Since Hazel is right here, why don't you introduce Hazel to your family, and maybe if your family meets a parent of your parent's friends, they will be more willing to maybe let you spend some more time with Antonia. I'm thinking that's maybe a good idea, and maybe they would kind of agree to that. No way, Antonia just arrived at the house as soon as we came over with Hazel. I hope so. Where is Hazel? Did she just leave? Oh, I think that she might have just said to Antonia, why don't you go instead of me? Which is honestly maybe a little bit risky. Oh no, there's Hazel right here. Well, either way, we have both of them here now, and both of the parents are here as well. So I'm gonna have Jesse talk about both of them to Hazel. So hopefully Hazel will make good first impression. Claudia is great. That is Jesse's mother. See, their relationship is pretty bad, and this is her father, Carl. Also pretty bad. So let's have you introduce yourself to Carl as well. It looks like it's kind of going okay. And Claudia is thinking, oh my gosh, we have guests now. Now I have to cook. So let's serve a grand meal to impress everyone. I'm just going to do a full-on turkey dinner because I can't believe that we have an unannounced guest and we have nothing to offer them. So like I have to cook really, really quickly. Oh my gosh, this is actually really interesting. Hazel is going as far as trying to be best friends with Claudia, really trying to like butter her up to just like let Jesse live. I really appreciate the extent that Hazel is going to, and Claudia would try to be as polite as possible to the guests. They're really trying to be like this perfect family. Even though they're not really that interested in Jesse's well-being, they're still trying to look like they're the most polite and amazing people ever. So of course she would say of course. But Jesse's father is like, can't you see that your mother is cooking? Why are you not helping her? Why are you being like that? You should be in the kitchen with your mother, because remember, their family is like super traditional, so the only thing that is expected of Jessie is to essentially be a housewife one day. So she's expected to be doing this just like her mother, and Jessie is absolutely not having any of that, is not interested. Why would this be my duty? This is not what I want from my life. They are kind of arguing about all of this in front of Hazel, who is chatting with Carson, that is Jessie's older brother. Even Carson is gonna be like, okay, let's just entertain the guest, let's not argue right now in front of people, we have people in our home, so let's just do some small talk, trying to diffuse the situation, trying to entertain the guest, because that's all that matters right now. Maybe even just give a toast to our new guest. And while all of this is going on, this is a good opportunity for Jessie and Antonia to finally catch up. So I'm just gonna have them go here, hide behind one of these llama sheds, because they haven't seen each other in so long, and it's kind of sad that they have to hide behind a stinky shed to hang out for a little bit. but I don't think that Jessie really wants to risk anyone seeing them like this. Maybe not yet. Oh, Hazel is coming over. Why are you crashing this date? I mean, you are able to see all of this, but just let them have some privacy. Yeah, just go eat. Maybe she was just checking where they are, which is a good point. They really can't stay here long because someone will question where did these two disappear off to. But I did notice that Jessie has an option to apologize to Antonia about all of these circumstances and how horrible everything is, because they just feel so guilty about having this relationship be so complicated. But anyway, I'm gonna have to have you go back into the house before anyone wonders where you two are, because everyone here is having a drink, having a meal, so these two should definitely join. It is kind of quite awkward because this is essentially their family meeting their girlfriend without even really being aware. As I said, they're trying to impress the guests. They're not questioning anything quite yet. Jessie, are you so uncomfortable that you don't even want to sit at the table? I think that they're just so on edge. They're like ready to run if necessary. No, let's have you sit maybe across from Antonia. Next to your mother though, they hate each other. I don't really know about that. I don't think that they really want to sit here, but just to have things be relatively peaceful and normal, let's just do that. This dinner is just so bizarre, but somehow it's working out, you know? Everyone is having a relatively good time. But you know what? Carl is like, I'm getting tired. The guests have eaten, they're entertained, so let's just send everyone home. Before Jessie even had a moment to say goodbye to their girlfriend, which kind of sucks, but Carl said so, so everyone has to go, so goodbye. So Jessie is now again alone with their family, and it's not really gonna be nice. They're leaving the table immediately. They don't really want to be around them, and I don't really blame them, honestly, because now they're like thinking, okay, this direction was kind of strange, wasn't it? Who were these people actually? Because Jessie, you don't really have friends. You never brought friends home, and now we get a friend and their parent. What is that all about? And we believe that you are up to something, so what are you planning? What is going on? They are putting so much pressure on Jessie because they just don't really think that this interaction was normal. If Carson just decided to bring a friend over, bring 10 friends over, bring all of their parents, this would not be an issue. It would be, oh, you have such a great social life, our golden little boy. That is amazing. But Jessie, everything is suspicious about Jessie, so they're just thinking, okay, what are you up to now? What was all of this? Now that the guests are gone, they're questioning everything and showing their true colors, being very rude. Jessie's not saying anything quite yet because they don't want to raise tensions even more. How are we even family? I am wondering that myself as well, but everyone is getting tired, so I'm gonna send them to bed. And while everyone is sleeping, I'm gonna have Jessie at least send Antonia an angry text, try to vent a little bit about how everything went now. And as soon as you went home, everyone just went crazy and started asking all these questions. I'm not really sure if I can take this for very long. It's getting a little bit too much. But alright, you're getting tired now as well, so let's try to sleep it off. It's the next morning and Jessie is starting their day by texting Antonia some more. I don't think that Antonia is quite awake yet because it is very early, but this llama farm life does start very early, I'm guessing. While they're doing that alone in their room, the family is still having a nice family breakfast all together, just chilling, enjoying, hanging out, because they are all quite compatible. It's just Jessie that's really standing out way too much. They can't really accept that. Oh, but the llamas really need a lot of help. Since this all is about llamas, let's have them get cleaned up and shear the wool. That's how the family makes money. So let's just clean everything, refill the shed. So Carl's gonna be doing one shed and his son's gonna be doing the other one and helping the other llama. So it's just like one llama each. And the only reason why Jessie is allowed to help is because they just kind of need help. Otherwise, this wouldn't be a woman's business. Otherwise, Jessie would be required to only help her mother with the housework and the kitchen and everything, but since they have 3 llamas, that is pretty much the only reason why Carl is allowing Jessie to help. He is usually often making fun of Jessie for their looks, like, why are you trying to be a cowboy? Cowboys are obviously for boys. You have no right doing all of this, but just because we need an extra pair of hands, you can do this right now. But as soon as we don't need this, you need to be helping your mother. And of course Jessie absolutely hates that and wants to do more than brushing llamas as well. This is not even enough. How is this not her place? She wants to do so much more. The llamas are all taken care of, so the only way to have some peace is to go outside, go for a jog, maybe do some more fishing, just get out of the house as much as possible. And although Jessie is a young adult, they still don't have a job because their family is not really letting them get a job. They are very controlling, and as I said before, the only thing they want from Jessie is to find herself a good husband who will take care of them, and she can just be a housewife, which is obviously something Jessie is not interested in at all. But they're not allowed to get a job, so they're just kind of trying to spend their days somehow, trying to get some peace, trying to do anything outside of the house. So while your family still thinks that you are on a jog with Duchess, why don't you use this opportunity and try to see Antonia again? It did actually work out yesterday, but let's not invite Antonia to the house. We can maybe just try to hang out outside here. Although there are a lot of houses, there are a lot of people, so we still have to be careful, but at least we're not at the house. Oh, they're kissing in public. Oh, okay. Well, they're in like a big, very public space. Hopefully that is not going to be causing issues. Her house can be seen from here, so I'm guessing that someone could see them if they're on this window and stuff. But it is 2 p.m. already. Let's just give Antonia a quick kiss and send you home, because Jessie's family is very controlling. They will be questioning, how long is this jog? Where are you with Duchess? Oh no, Duchess came back home. I was gonna say let's hope that no one noticed, but Carl was right there watching TV. Duchess is right next to him, so he's questioning, okay Jessie, where were you? The dog came back, so where were you for the entire morning and half of the afternoon? Who were you with? What were you doing? He's trying to get the truth out of her, but the thing is, he did see them through the window. He did see them, and he did see Jessie kissing Antonia. Jessie's family is aware that Jessie is a lesbian. They know that they have a girlfriend. I don't think that Jessie really told them who they were, so they don't know that it's Antonia. But the family is not taking any of that seriously. They're pretending like it's not real, but it absolutely is real. I love that Carl is hurt by Jessie. It's only the other way around. He sees nothing wrong in what he's doing. But now, well, he did see them. He does know that it actually is Antonia who is Jessie's girlfriend, and he is trying to tell her how wrong that is. There is no way that she can be behaving that way. That is bringing shame to their family. That needs to be stopping right away. You need to be finding yourself a husband and moving out on your own in your house. You're a young adult now. You need to be going like now. If you can't find yourself a husband yourself, Mother and I will find you someone. And of course that is the last thing that Jessie wants to hear, because they know that Carl is serious. They are capable of doing that. They are capable of going to those measures. We have a no-win scenario here, and they now despise each other. Of course they have a difficult family dynamic. Honestly, I thought that they had it already, so yeah, that is the only thing that makes sense, to say the least. So as a way of de-stressing, Jessie's gonna go try to interact with the llamas, try to calm down a little bit and have at least some nice interactions today. Even if it's not with people, at least she can get some love from llamas, hopefully, because she's not getting any love from her family, so this is pretty much all that she can get right now. Meanwhile, her parents are here discussing what just happened, and they are kind of in disbelief that their daughter would go to the lengths that she is in disobeying them and trying to make them angry. That's pretty much all they see in this situation. So now they're thinking, okay, well, if our daughter is incapable of finding herself a husband, we can do that for her. Carl has some buddies who have sons of similar age. Hazel is seeing all of that, but they are kind of discussing who they could pick for Jessie to be her husband. But what if Jessie doesn't agree, which is kind of looking like she won't? Carl is thinking, you know what? If she doesn't want to do any of that, I don't think that she can be our child anymore. I don't think that we want her in our house. So if Jessie doesn't agree to any of this, are we going to abandon her? Are we going to, well, in this case, put her for adoption, but what it means is kick her out. And of course the Claudia would say yes to her husband anytime. So the deal is now, if Jessie doesn't agree with the husband that they set her up with, they will be kicking her out. But they were unaware that Jessie was actually listening in on that conversation as well. It wasn't just Hazel, and she heard what just happened. So what is going to be Jessie's move, because they can't agree to any of that? But I guess we'll see in the next episode, and I have a feeling that Chestnut Ridge is going to be the answer. But you can click the next episode right here to watch it, and if the next episode is not out yet, here is something to watch while you wait. See you there!